You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Friday, June the 19th, 2020. An AL East matchup between the Rays and Orioles was a close game, 4-3 the final score. The Rays put up 2 in the first inning and put up a run in the ninth inning, totaling 3. Meanwhile, the Orioles put up a run in the first inning and then had back-to-back-to-back one-run innings, one in the fifth, one in the sixth, and one in the seventh, and that was enough for them to win the game. John Means got the win, Anthony Banda got the loss, and Michael Givens earned his 23rd save of the year. An AL Central matchup was played between the White Sox and the Indians, 5-1 the final score. The Indians won this one. Also, both teams scored in the second inning. There were no other runs scored in any other inning. Carlos Carrasco got the win, and Lucas Giolito got the loss. The Yankees and Twins played each other in an offensive-heavy game, 9-6. The final score, the Yankees out-hit the Twins 11-10, but the Twins won 9-6. Scott Alexander got the win, Garrett Cole got the loss, and Tyler Duffy earned his 7th save of the season. A battle between two teams at the bottom of their respective divisions, the Royals at the bottom of the AL Central, the Mariners at the bottom of the AL West, and the Royals came out on top. 6-2 was the final score. Keller got the win, Kikuchi got the loss, and Philmeyer earned his first save of the season with the Royals. AL West baseball between the Astros and the Athletics went 19 innings. This is the longest recorded game we've had so far this season, and the Astros won 5-4 the final. Ryan Presley got the win, Lou Trevino got the loss, and Joe Smith earned his 3rd save of the season. Another AL West game, the Angels blew out the Rangers 13-0 was the final score of this game. The Angels scored 6 runs in the first inning. They put up some more runs here and there, but they won by a large margin. The Angels got 13 runs on 15 hits and committed no errors. The Rangers got no runs on 5 hits and committed 3 errors. Tyler Glasnow got the win, and Mike Minor got the loss. The Giants and Marlins played each other. This game went into extra innings, and it was a close one. But the Giants came out on top. 12-11 was the final score. And you see in the 10th inning, the Giants put up 2 runs, which were needed because the Marlins scored a run in the bottom of the 10th inning and could not come back. A pretty even scoreline as well. The Giants got 12 runs on 18 hits. The Marlins got 11 runs on 18 hits. Trevor Gott got the win. Stephen Tarpley got the loss. And Tony Watson earned his 17th save of the season. National League East baseball between the Braves and the Nationals was played. 7-3 was the final score. The Braves came out on top. Felix Hernandez got the win, and Joe Ross got the loss. Another NL East game between the Mets and Phillies. The Mets came out on top by a run, 3-2 the final score. This game was locked pretty tightly after the 6th inning. The Phillies got a run in the first and the 3rd inning to take the lead. Then the Mets scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. That tied the game, and then the Mets were able to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th inning to win against their division rivals. Justin Wilson got the win, and Deolis Guerra got the loss. The Reds and Cardinals played each other in an NL Central matchup. 7-1 was the final score. The Cardinals came out on top. Miles Michaelis got the win. He has 5 now on the year since coming back from the injured list, and Wade Miley got the loss. The Blue Jays and Pirates played each other in an interleague game. 4-2 was the final score. The Blue Jays came out on top. The Blue Jays got a run right in the first inning. They also scored 3 in the 6th. The Pirates responded with 2 in the 6th inning, but they didn't score at any point after that, and they lost by 2 runs. Hyunjin Ryu got the win, Mitch Keller got the loss, and Ken Giles earned his 21st save of the season. Another interleague game played between 2 historic teams in Major League Baseball, the Red Sox and the Cubs. The Cubs came out on top with a 5-3 win, though the Red Sox out-hit the Cubs 10-6. Daniel Winkler got the win, Matt Barnes got the loss, and Craig Kimbrell earned his 25th save of the season, and he also earned the save against his former team. The Brewers and Diamondbacks played each other, and the Brewers won a lopsided game, 10-1. The final score, the Brewers got all 10 of their runs by the time the 4th inning began. Freddie Peralta got the win, and Madison Bumgarner got the loss. NL West baseball between the Padres and the Rockies, 10-7, the final score of this game. The Padres won thanks to 2 5-run innings. The Rockies scattered runs throughout the game, but fell short 3 runs. Also, the Padres doubled the hit total of the Rockies. The Padres got 18 hits. The Rockies got 9. Garrett Richards got the win. Ben Bowden got the loss. And Kirby Yates earned his 23rd save of the season. And yet another interleague game was played between the Tigers and the Dodgers. And the Tigers were able to beat the Dodgers. The Tigers are in 4th in the AL Central. The Dodgers are in 1st place in the NL West. The Dodgers are also one of 2 teams with 50 wins on the year, but they fell to a team that has been struggling for the majority of this season. Spencer Turnbull got the win. Walker Buehler got the loss. And Joe Jimenez earned his 18th save. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees are still at the top with a 45-31 record, though they lost today. The Blue Jays beat the Pirates today, so they gained a game on the Yankees. They're now 2 games back with a 43-33 record. The Rays are 36-41, 9.5 games back. They lost today. The Red Sox have lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Cubs today. They're 35-41. They're 10 games back. And the Orioles are 34-42. They won today, but they're still in last place in the AL East. They're 11 games back at the Yankees for 1st place. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins add to their already best record in Major League Baseball. They got their 54th win today against the Yankees. They're 54-23, and they're still at the top of the AL Central. The White Sox are 7.5 games back. They're 46-30 in 2nd place. The Indians are 43-34, 11 games back, though they've won 3 games in a row. The Tigers are 30-45, 23 games back, and the Royals are 26-54. They're 28 games back. They've won 2 games in a row. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics still lead this division. They're 48-28. The Astros are 42-32 in 2nd place, 5 games back. The Angels are 36-39, 11.5 games back. They've won 2 games in a row. The Rangers are 30-47, 18.5 games back. And the Mariners are still in last place. They're 26-51. They lost to the Royals today. They're 22.5 games back of the A's for 1st place. The American League wildcard standings look like this. The Chicago White Sox have the top wildcard spot. They're 46-30. Then the Blue Jays and Astros have the 2nd wildcard spot right now with similar records. The Blue Jays are 43-33. The Astros are 42-32. Then you have the Indians, who are still relatively in contention. They're a half game back. They're 43-34. And every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 6.5 games back of that 2nd wildcard spot. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals are 44-31. They're still at the top of the division. The Marlins failed to capitalize on the Nats losing today. They also lost. They're 43-32, still a game back of 1st place. The Braves have got some fire. They've won 3 in a row, and they've won 7 of their last 10. They're 40-35. They're 4 games back, still in 3rd place. The Phillies continue to have a large losing streak. They're now up to 3. And their largest losing streak on the season was 11 losses, which they broke just a couple days ago, but they've fallen from 1st to 4th place from the end of May to this part of June. They're 34-40, 9.5 games back. And the Mets have gotten a bit of a hot streak. They've won 6 of their last 10. They've won 3 in a row. They're 33-42, 11 games back of the Nats for 1st place. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals are 43-32. They're still at the top of this division. They've won 7 in a row after beating the Reds today, and they're also still the only team in this division with a winning percentage over 500. The Cubs in 2nd place, they're 36-40, 7.5 games back. The Brewers are in 3rd place with a 35-39 record. They're also 7.5 games back. The Reds are 32-44, 11.5 games back. They lost to the Cardinals today, and the Pirates lost to the Blue Jays today. They've now lost 3 in a row. Still have yet to get that 30th win. They're 29-45, 13.5 games back of the Cards. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers still stuck at 50 wins. They've lost 5 games in a row, but they still lead this division. The Diamondbacks are 42-34. They're 8 games back. The Padres in 3rd place with a 42-35 record. They're 8.5 games back. The Rockies are 30-45. They've lost 5 games in a row. They're 19.5 games back. And the Giants are still in last place. They won today, but they've lost 8 of their last 10. They're 28-47, and they're 21.5 games back. The National League wildcard standings look like this. The Marlins have the top spot. They're 43-32. The Diamondbacks relatively close. They're 42-34. Then you have the Padres a half game back of the Diamondbacks for the 2nd wildcard spot with a 42-35 record. The Braves also in contention with a 40-35 record, just a game and a half back of the Diamondbacks. And every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 6 games back of the Diamondbacks for that 2nd wildcard spot. And taking a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera at the top with a 369 average, Carlos Santana 20 points behind him with a 349 average, and Miguel Andujar third best with a 345. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt still leads with a .376 average. David Dahl second best with a .357, and Jonathan Villar rounds out the top three with a .346. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar's at the top with 108 hits. Miguel Cabrera second best with 106, and DJ LeMahieu third best with 103. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has 111, Paul Goldschmidt second best with 103, and Ronald Acuna Jr. rounds out the top three with 95. At bat leaders in the American League, DJ LeMahieu at the top with 317. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has the top spot with 321, and he's 20 at bats above Ozzie Albies, who's the next best on this leaderboard. Doubles leaders in the AL, Anthony Rendon at the top with 27, Giancarlo Stanton second best with 25, and Jose Abreu third best with 24. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has 35, Christian Yelich second best with 27, and Ketel Marte third best with 24. Triples leaders in the American League, Jose Altuve has 6, Adalberto Mondesi second best with 5, and Miles Straw, Whit Merrifield, Derek Fisher, Steven Piscotty, Eddie Rosario, and Max Kepler all tied for third best with 4. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads in triples with 9, Victor Robles second best with 6, and Chris Bryant and Hunter Pence are tied for third best with 5. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton, JD Martinez, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. are all tied for the top spot. They each have 25 home runs. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. is up to 30 now, the first one in baseball this year. Paul Goldschmidt trails him by 3 with 27, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with 19. RBI leaders in the American League, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has 72 RBIs, Jorge Soler and Chris Davis are tied for second best with 65. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt has 74, Christian Yelich second best with 58, and Cody Bellinger rounds out the top 3 with 57. Run scored leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada at the top with 59. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. at the top with 65. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi is at the top with 16. D. Gordon, Whit Merrifield, and Malik Smith are all tied for second best with 14. In the National League, Starling Marte at the top with 28. 2 behind him is Trey Turner with 26. And Jonathan Villar is up to 20 now. He's third best in the NL. Walks leaders in the American League, Alex Bregman's at the top with 51. In the National League, Mookie Betts is at the top with 52. On base percentage leaders in the AL, Miguel Cabrera at the top with a .440 OBP. Alex Bregman second best with a .436, and Carlos Santana rounds out the top 3 with a .427. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt's up to a .471, Christian Yelich second best with a .428, and Dansby Swanson third best with a .426. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Josh Donaldson has a .657 slugging percentage. JD Martinez second best with a .638, and slightly lower than Martinez's .638 is Max Kepler, who also has a .638 slugging percentage. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt's at the top with a .755. 10 points behind him is Ronald Acuna Jr. with a .745, and Christian Yelich is third best with a .677. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Josh Donaldson's at a .067. He leads AL batters. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt's at a .226. He leads NL hitters. Moving on to pitcher statistics, starting with wins leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu earned his 9th win of the season, which ties him with Kenta Maeda for the most wins among American League pitchers. Carlos Carrasco and Jake Odorizzi are both tied for third best with 8. In the National League, Walker Buehler's at 11 wins. Jimmy Nelson and Madison Bumgarner are tied for second best with 8. Losses leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda and Chris Bassett still have the least amount of losses. They have no losses on the mound yet this season. In the National League, Carlos Martinez is at the top. He has lost just 1 game. Walker Buehler got his second losing decision today, and he is now tied for second best with the rest of those pitchers on the leaderboard. Saves leaders in the American League, Liam Hendricks is at 28, Brad Hand second best with 27, and Michael Givens and Roberto Ozuna tied for third best with 23. In the National League, Giovanni Gallegos is at 27, Kenley Jansen second best with 26, and Craig Kimbrell and Will Smith are tied for third best with 25. ERA leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has a .223 ERA, Jordan Zimmerman second best with a .261, and Jake Odorizzi third best with a .276. In the National League, Marcus Stroman has the lowest ERA with a .199, Walker Buehler second best with a .225, and Carlos Martinez rounds out the top 3 with a .234. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Gio Gonzalez has allowed the least amount with just 6. In the National League, Garrett Richards has allowed the least amount with 4. Shutout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole and Masahiro Tanaka still grace the top of this leaderboard with 3 complete game shutouts on the year. Jake Odorizzi is third best with 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom, the only one with 3 in the NL. Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Merrill Kelly, and Walker Buehler are all tied for second best with 2 complete game shutouts. Strikeout leaders in the American League. Garrett Cole has 131. Carlos Carrasco and Lucas Giolito are tied for second best with 118. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw has 131. Steven Strasburg second best with 121. And Max Scherzer rounds out the top 3 with 112. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers. Garrett Cole and Masahiro Tanaka have each thrown 3 complete games, all 3 of which were shutouts. And third best is Aaron Savali and Jake Odorizzi. They each have thrown 2 complete games this season. In the National League, Jacob deGrom, Aaron Nola, and Zach Wheeler have all thrown 3 complete games on the year, and they make up the top 3 on this list, though they're all tied for the league best. Innings pitched leaders in the American League. Hyunjin Ryu's at 109 innings pitched. Shane Bieber second best with 103 2/3 innings. And Carlos Carrasco third best with 103 1/3 innings. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw's at the top with 111 innings. Aaron Nola second best with 105. And Steven Strasburg is third best with 100 1/3 innings pitched. Walks leaders in the American League. Carlos Carrasco is allowed the least amount with 14. In the National League, Brett Anderson's allowed the least amount with 19. Whip leaders in the American League. Masahiro Tanaka with the lowest at a 1.04. Carlos Carrasco second best with a 105. And Kenta Maeda third best with a 107. In the National League, Aaron Nola has a 1 even. Marcus Stroman's at a 101. And Mike Soroka third best with a 102. Pitching war leaders in the American League. Shane Bieber's at a 2.7. Carlos Carrasco's at a 2.5. And Jake Odorizzi's at a 2.4. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw's at a 2.8. Steven Strasburg's at a 2.5. Jacob deGrom, Robbie Ray, and Yu Darvish each have a 2.4. Those are the top 5 pitchers on this leaderboard. And batting war leaders in the American League. Marcus Semien has the highest with a 5.1. Yohan Moncada second best with a 4.6. And Alex Bregman third best with a 4.5. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr., the first one in baseball this season to reach a batting war of 6. Paul Goldschmidt behind him, second best with a 5.2. Christian Yelich also has a 5.2, good for third best in the National League. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Friday, June the 19th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network.